Hey, welcome back to the number one bedroom podcast in the world, the Crack One Open podcast. I'm your host, Big Bob, with my co-host.
D-Rock. What's cracking, everybody? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, so what are you drinking on today?
I'm drinking a White Claw watermelon flavor. It's pretty interesting. It's actually like the first time I've ever had a watermelon flavored drink that actually tastes like I'm drinking like a watermelon right through it. I know you're not the biggest fan, but dude, it's fucking delicious. And I'm not a big fruit guy, but dude, it's really good. I think out of 10, I'd probably have to give it maybe a 7.3.
It's a decent score. Yeah, I'm not a big watermelon guy or White Claw guy, to be honest with you, but I found these new long drinks. It's a canned gin drink with, it says natural grapefruit and juniper berry flavors. It's pretty fucking delicious. It's very different and it's strong as hell. It's 8.5%.
Holy shit! What's
yeah,
a juniper berry?
I have no fucking idea. That's probably the weird flavor that I tasted. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's pretty.
I'm
it's
so
pretty
uneducated in like flavors. If it's not like blueberry or like watermelon, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, shout out long drink. That shit it's different and it's very fucking good. Yeah. I dig it.
Is that I know we went to a pretty big party this weekend. Is that what you were drinking over there?
I had a few of those along with quite a few of other things. Yeah, we had my buddy had a hillbilly hoedown. We all dressed up like just trashy people. Like we all cut jean shorts, and dude, it was a hell of a time, man. Nice full day with the boys. My buddy hired a pretty damn good musician to come play live music there. I gotta say, it was a hell of a time. He put on a hell of a party, and appreciate the hell out of you, dude. Shout out Jared. Appreciate the hell out of you. It was very fun, man. Nothing beats a day with the boys. You know, that's something that I cherish whenever we all get together and all that good stuff. So it was a hell of a time.
Yeah, we should post that. Like, they did mug shots there for like different crimes. We should post it on our Instagram.
Yeah. We'll post the one that I did, and there's a few other ones that the boys took. We can post on there. It was pretty funny, man. When we got there, like I wasn't expecting like them to have signs and stuff. Like they posted a sign on the door where all the food was, and it said "welcome," and they spelled "welcome" WELCUM.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the pictures.
It was like no
That's
shirts, no
great.
shoes. They spelled it. Hilariously. It was a hell of a party, man. That guy that played the music was fantastic. It's just he's like a one-man band type deal. It's just him and his guitar, and he played music for he probably played from 5 to 10.
Holy shit!
Yeah, dude, he's so damn good, and he has a son. I can't remember how old he is, but he can't be older than 10 years old, and he sat his son up on the chair where he was playing at, and his son took the guitar and he was playing, and he was phenomenal too. It was awesome.
Wow.
I mean, we had a hell of a fight, a hell of a time. We watched the fights last night there, listened to some music, got hammered, of course. It was a hell of a time, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're doing so well. You're usually a big hangover guy whenever we're recording these episodes.
Yeah.
And that leads me to the question, well, not really a question, but really throwing back to a story of my times in college. So my sophomore year, we used to throw big bangers, like 100 people in a small apartment. And we would always call up our friends from my hometown. And one of them, I'm not gonna incriminate her, but we're just gonna call her Zoe. So Zoe is the sweetest girl you would ever meet in your entire life. And she just kind of picks a bad hand every once in a while. So we're partying, we're drinking, and it gets to that point in the party where everyone's just kind of chit-chatting. And Zoe just starts talking about her boy problems and just starts sobbing. And she's really wasted, and next thing you know, all she does is she's like, "Bleh," and she catches it in her hands. She's like, "Bleh," and then she obviously forgot it was in her hands, and then just wipes it back through her hair to get her hair out of her face. Oh, dude. It was the nastiest thing in the entire world. She has like a fucking George Washington vomit wig on right there. And everyone's like, I can't even look at vomit. I look at vomit, I'm gonna
Me
puke.
neither,
I'm the
dude.
biggest pussy.
I can't look at it. I can't see it. Or I can't look at it. I can't hear it. I don't want nothing to do with the shit.
Someone just going, like, I just want to, oh, God, I want to freak out. But, so she has vomit all in her hair. It's all over her shirt, pants. And my girlfriend, she's like, Zoe, come here. Let's take care of you because no one's really helping. And a couple of our other friends are helping too. And so they put her in the shower, and they're like, Zoe, why is your bush so big? She's like, I haven't had a man in my life in a long time. Don't judge me. And I didn't get to see the bush. You know,
damn
a pussy's a pussy, and I'm gonna look whether there's the bush or not.
The bush.
And I'm like, I asked them for an example. I'm like, was it like this big? They're like, bigger. I'm like, bigger than this? They're like, it was the biggest bush I've ever seen.
Did it like pop out when like she took her clothes off? It just
yeah, it was like a and yeah, it was like they said there was like a hedge and but
fucking Rapunzel, dude.
Yeah, dude, and I'm just like, you know, if you haven't had a man in your life, you're going to a party, wouldn't you at least clean that up just for the off chance that you're gonna get dicked down?
Yes, you do.
Poor Zoe.
I've been a very long-term committed relationship, and even when I go somewhere, sorry, Brooke, even when I go somewhere, I'm like, I'm manscaping, dude. You never know. I might get dumped when I go out there. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know which way the wind's gonna blow.
Yeah, who knows, dude? Shit's crazy nowadays.
Yeah, you mentioned getting dumped, and dude, one of the biggest dumping that's going on right now is Big 12 with Oklahoma and Texas leaving. What do you think about that whole situation?
Yeah, I seen that. I'm going to be upfront and honest. I don't watch college football. I don't really pay attention to it, but I did see that. And first of all, I didn't know you could even do that. I didn't know that was something that a team had control over, like where they, what conference they play in. I thought that was something that was predetermined and can't be fucked with, I guess. But,
well, the
yeah,
Big East before was a conference, and that crumbled, and that's how some of these teams got placed.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like, if it goes down, like, they disperse the teams, but I didn't know that teams had any control over where they play, who they play, whatever. But, I mean, it seems like there could be some, from what I was reading and watching, there can be some implications on it, because one thing that I saw, since, they want to do this, Oklahoma and Texas could both be on the hook for $76 million each to pay their way out of it. And it had something to do with the TV rights or something for the conference, so they would have to buy themselves out of it. It's like,
is that just it's probably because once they leave, no one's going to be watching the Big 12 anymore.
Yeah,
and it's not like Texas is like this powerhouse, but they have diehard fans. But Oklahoma is the only team there in recent history that's really done anything. So
didn't they win this Big 12? I saw 6 times in a row.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 5 to 6 times, and they're also the only Big 12 team to make it into the college football playoffs. So it's like, without Oklahoma, what do you really have? And with them going to the SEC, that whole fucking conference is so stacked that I'm not really sure how this is going to work when it breaks out into the 12 teams on the college football playoffs, because most of the teams that are going to be making it in there should be from there, regardless of their record. If they have two losses, and there's some MAC team, like let's just use Akron for an example. Say they were undefeated, they shouldn't make it into the college football playoffs because they play shithole teams. But if Oklahoma goes there and they lose 2 games, they should still make it in. If they lost to like an Alabama, as long as the losses were to a great team, I don't think it should hold them to. I don't think it should be that big of a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, I'm still hung up on how they're just like, oh, we want to go over to this conference from this conference, so we're going to do it. Like, I don't. What the hell are they going to do with the rest of, like, the Big 12? What are they going to move them into other places, like the remaining teams somewhere else, or like what's going to happen now?
Well, they obviously can't become the Big 10 because that's already a conference. So
True.
It's kind of interesting. Yeah, we were saying that these are the 2 powerhouses for strength and popularity. So I mean, I could really see it being a Big East situation where it does just crumble. Personally, I see a lot of the teams going to the Pac-12. I think with the part of the country they're in and just kind of the teams that they are, it fits well. And then the two that kind of stick out that would probably go differently would be Iowa State would probably be joining the Big Ten. I think that makes a lot of sense just because Iowa's already a part of it, so why not just throw the other one in there? And then West Virginia joining. I could see them joining the Big Ten or the ACC.
So what happens with the rest of the sports teams under Oklahoma and Texas? Do they go with them?
Yeah, because it's not like it's not like
a sports
sport. It's the whole entire organization would jump from one to the other.
Okay, so it's the whole college goes now.
Yeah, and even like I was saying, even though Texas isn't a powerhouse in terms of strength or anything like that, they have millions of fans. So the SEC would welcome them with open arms because that's more ad spots that they get to make and become just that much more of a super conference.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting. I might start paying more attention to college football now because that's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'm curious to see if they're going to owe money. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the remaining of the Big 12 and if they're going to have to move other teams around from other conferences to make everything fit and even, like the teams even and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be really interesting, and it's going to be one of those moves that college football looks back on that was going to be a really big difference maker in terms of the future of the sport. And realistically, I think it's just going to make the SEC players that much more desirable for the NFL. Top 10 talent, top tier talent every time. So adding more strength to them that they're going to be playing more consistently is going to be great. But I just wanted to give one shout out. So when I heard that this news broke from the Big 12 breaking up, I actually heard it from our friends at the Sideline Sprint. They're a newsletter that you guys should definitely go check out. We're buddies online, and they have a really great newsletter that gives you all the news for different sports industries, and they do it Monday through Friday. It's completely free to sign up. Definitely go out and check them out. We'll be sharing them on our Instagram on Tuesday. So if you can go over there, show them some support, and say Crack One Open sent you, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have another question, though, or question, statement, whatever about that. So I can see why Oklahoma would want to go since they're, like, apparently dominating the Big 12, but
yeah,
Texas hasn't done much. Like, I haven't heard them in years. Why the hell would they want to go to a harder conference for them to play in? I don't understand that at all.
It might not make more sense from a football standpoint, but it probably makes a lot more sense from a financial standpoint.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, unfortunately, that money rules all, whether it's best for the program or not. But it also, again, makes the players better. And maybe college players that are deciding what school to go to, maybe they want to play in a tough conference like the SEC. So then they can get better recruitment and then become better that way. Because if you're going to say, like, if you're looking at a lineman, for example, someone who played in the MAC or someone who played in the SEC and their stats are great, let's just say they're equal, which one probably is going to get drafted higher?
The tougher conference.
Yeah. It just goes to the level of effort that these people are putting into, not only in practice, but on the field as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you're performing at a higher level, if you're performing at a higher level against higher level opponents, I guess, you're definitely going to be looked at in a better light. That makes sense. Like I said, I understand the Oklahoma thing, but for Texas, now I get it, though, now that you were like leading into the recruitment thing, they can get better recruits going to that division.
They were a great team not that long ago. So and especially like a team like that, they're only a few moves away from being significantly better than they were. And every team, everyone like has to come up every once in a while. I remember when I was in college, again, a MAC team, Western Michigan was undefeated, and they were giving teams like big teams a run for their money. And they were super good, but they're a terrible team now. Or I'm pretty sure that at least last time I checked they are. So Texas could have a come up, And the issue is that school needs to learn how to take that come up and ride that wave consistently. Like Alabama, Nick Saban has taken the crown and has never let it go the entire time. He continues to ride that wave. It's not like it's like he wins it and then they lose and then they never get back. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. Like they're always the contender.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Now I get it. But I have a little feel-good story that I'd like to share on here. Yeah. So Friday after work, when we were about to play for a little bit, and I made a little pit stop on the way. I picked Brooke up and we went over to the driving range. There's a little driving range out here that it's a nice driving range, and it also has like a par 3 or a 9-hole par 3 course on it. Yep. And I went there to play the 9-hole course and ended up just going to the driving range and crushing some balls, and I was crushing some goddamn balls. I gotta say, it was probably one of the best days that I've had hitting the driver in a very long time. Like, just consistently dropping in the same spot, 250 every drive. Like, it was weird to me. So
yeah, I know we haven't had a chance to really go golfing this year, but I've been seeing some of the videos that you've been sharing, and dude, you are just smacking that fucking ball.
Yeah, man. Last year I kind of took a little bit of a break. I normally golf heavy every year, but last year I kind of took a hiatus because I got so addicted to gaming. I only played golf a certain amount of times last year, not very much. But this year I told myself I want to get back into it because that's one of my favorite things to do. I'd say it probably is my favorite thing to do. But we're at the driving range, we're golfing, and a golf cart comes up behind us, and he's talking to the guy that's working at the clubhouse, if you will, selling the ball baskets and whatnot. And I just keep hitting whatever, and then I hear the golf cart kind of creep up on me, and I turn around, and the owner was there, and he was like, "I'm sorry to interrupt you, but where the hell did you get a golf swing like that?" And I laughed, and I was like, I worked at a golf course for 5 years, and he knew who it was, what course it was. He helped us out when I was working there. The greenskeeping, he did it all. Like, he did the spraying and stuff while I was there. And I was like, just my first year working there, I watched people golf, and I was like, next year I'm going to start doing it. And it's just been years of trial and error after that. And for those who don't know or haven't noticed, I have a bit of a hand I hate saying it, but disability, if you will. And he was like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I watch people hit golf balls all day long. He was like, people with normal hands can't hit a ball like that. And he was like, I just wanted to say how impressive that was. And we talked for a little bit. And he told me to go play the 9-hole course, which I didn't get a chance to do. But he was like, it's on me. Just go play it. He was just impressed with how I was hitting the ball. And it
is impressive. You are very impressive. With the situation that you were dealt with, or not. I mean, literally, we've been friends for so many years, Bob. I don't even notice anymore. There's literally, I can't name one thing that you can't do. It's just the most impressive thing, and I really do think you could be somewhat of a figurehead for people and give them hope, because it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, me and you have talked about that at length quite a bit, actually. How I kind of wanted to do that, find somebody with a situation similar to mine and kind of not teach them, but guide them to find a better way to do something with whatever suits them best. Like, if they want to do a certain thing, you can find a way to do it that suits you. It doesn't have to be how I do it. It doesn't have to be how somebody else does it. Whatever gets you to do it, let's figure it out. I've kind of wanted to do that and kind of help people in that regard for quite some time. It's just, the opportunity is so slim. Like, there's not, you know what I mean? Like, there's not so many people walking around with, situations like this. But, so anyways, he drove away, and I keep hitting the ball, and he comes back, and he was like, hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but this is my son. And I forget his age, but, I want to say he was under 10, and he was telling me he's blind. My son's blind. He wants to golf, but he gets frustrated. And I, don't want to put you in a position that you don't want to be in, but I couldn't think of a better opportunity to, kind of help my son. He gets frustrated, this, that, the other. And I was talking to the kid for a little bit, and I was asking him, do you like golf? And he was like, yeah, I really like golf. And I was like, because he wasn't really listening to us when his dad told me that he gets frustrated. And
Yeah.
I was like, do you get frustrated when you play? And he was like, yeah, like, it really frustrates me and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I talked to him a little bit about it, and it's hard. I'm not blind. It's hard for me to give pointers, but I pretty much just told him that I've golfed with many different people that are good, people that are bad, people that could probably play in a tournament and win. Like, golf is frustrating for everybody. I told him that, and I assured him, like, there isn't anybody that picks up a golf club and it's just like, this is the easiest goddamn sport known to man. Nobody does that. Like, it's just so, every time you swing that club, anything could go wrong. You can slip on the grip, and the club head could turn away, and your ball goes flying a different way. There's so many things that can go wrong. It's hard for everybody. It's not just hard for people like you and me. It's hard for everybody that does it. And he kind of did a little smile, and his dad shook my hand and he said, thank you very much. And I was like, no problem at all. I was like, I'll see you around. I'll come back more often. And he was like, real quick before you go, and he looked at his son. He goes, tell him what kind of dinosaurs are on your shirt, because he had a dinosaur shirt on, and he had 3 dinosaurs on. And he goes, this is a Triceratops, this is a T-Rex, and there was a third one. And he touched all of them in the same spot. And I was like, if you could do that, if you can remember where the hell those are, you can remember where you line a golf ball up, man. I was like, start crushing them. And by the way, those are my 3 favorite dinosaurs, so that's an awesome shirt. And we kind of went our separate ways after that. But, like, I don't want to sound like a dick or anything, but, like, selfishly, I feel like I don't get enough credit for some of the things that I do, and sometimes, because, like, I don't want it, but, like, sometimes, I have bad days, and I say that shit to myself. I don't get enough credit. But then something like that. Good.
I just wanted to say, like, for someone to get good in a normal situation where the club was made for, like, a normal situation, like, it's gonna be, let's just say, like, it's a certain level of difficulty. Yeah. And whatever you do, it's gonna be 2, 3, 4 times as hard. So I definitely get wanting that credibility, and I think that I think you're gonna have some interesting opportunities in the future that come from this podcast of being a figurehead for giving people hope. Because you were telling me before this podcast that when you were little, the doctor said that you'll never be able to do anything like this. Yeah. So defying those odds is just so influential and just feels so good. And by the way, Bob is not only good at golf, Bob fries at Warzone. When he has his good days, just like when we all have our good days.
There's those days where I get my dick pounded in the dirt, but sometimes I'm doing the pounding.
That Friday night, right after he was telling me that situation, he went on. I mean, we were playing Resurgence, and I mean, he had like 12, 13 kills. You thought you were going to end up getting like your PR. Yeah. And it's just so fucking, like, crazy, and, like, sometimes I end up like, oh my god, like, Bob really is frying, like like, it's just crazy. Like, I'm proud of what you can do, and I think you're gonna be beneficial to a lot of people in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Like, what happened on Friday was kind of like, I don't really believe in signs very often. Like, when people say, "Oh, it's a sign," I don't really believe in all that. But
what's your horoscope?
Exactly. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But, like, that was, for a lack of words, that kind of felt like a sign to me, though. Like, how I was talking to you, like, it's hard to find people with my situation to help, but it doesn't necessarily have to be people with my situation. It could be anything. It could be somebody, a blind kid that wants to golf, and I could kind of guide in the sense of what feels better, like, kind of how I worked myself through it for 5 years learning how to golf. Like, what feels better for you. It doesn't have to be do it this way. It could be a different set of cards that somebody else has dealt that I can potentially help with. So
for sure, and
made it all worth it.
I know someone down here who owns a nonprofit where they actually do. It's kind of like Special Olympics, but for action sports like skateboarding, biking. Like, people like in wheelchairs are doing like backflips and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And that's such an easy connection for us to make. It's also the lady who knows Tifu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but like we could when you come down, like I think it would be really cool to go over the. She has her own business, like her own place, and going over there and like just seeing what the opportunity looks like.
That would
I think
be
that'd
awesome.
Something really cool.
Yeah, because if they do stuff like that, I'm sure they know people that do stuff as far as like golfing and shit goes like that.
Yeah, anything. Like I'm sure it would just be a really cool opportunity and beneficial for everyone involved.
Yeah, because the guy that I went to, he actually does golf lessons out there, and I was actually thinking about talking to him, like teaming up. If you know anybody that has a special set of situation, special set of cards, if you will, that needs help, give me a call. I would love to do that because that's, like I said, that was something that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and it was awesome. Like having him just nonchalantly come up to me and having a nice conversation about it, and he acknowledged how fantastically I was hitting my drives, and because I was killing them. He couldn't have came up at a better day either, because my God, I was crushing the fucking ball. Then they were going the same spot every time. That never happens. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
good.
It was super cool, man.
I wanted to shout out our YouTube channel, the Cracked One Open podcast. We are now offer the video version of this podcast on YouTube. It comes out several days after the audio version, so definitely go check that out. It comes out on every Friday at noon EST. So go over there, subscribe, and check out some of the video versions so you can see our sexy faces.
Absolutely.
And
for the entire length,
not
just a few clips.
Yeah, the entire length, and you really get to maybe have a better connection. We put a poll out on Instagram. We saw that almost 70% of you prefer video, so we made an effort and really grind that out. So we hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you on YouTube. Well, you'll see us. We won't see you.
True. And yeah, if you guys do go check it out, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. It helps us out on the channel and everything. It throws us into some better places on YouTube for people to view us. So if you do that, that'd be a huge help as well.
For sure. So I know this team has pretty much been one of the most popular football teams that we've been speaking about ever since we started the Cracked One Open podcast, and that's the Green Bay Packers. What a fucking dumpster fire Green Bay has been this offseason.
Yeah,
you
like
go
every week it
from
gets
being
worse.
one game away from going to the Super Bowl to being potentially going to be one of the worst teams in football once your two-star football players leave. If you want to jump into the situation that we're talking about, Bob, feel free.
Yeah, so apparently Davante Adams ended his contract extension negotiations pretty recently. And, everybody was kind of shocked about that because he was pretty adamant on it. And then a story came out that Aaron Rodgers was offered a 2-year contract extension that would have tied him to Green Bay for about 5 years, I think. And it would have made him not only the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, but the highest paid player in the league, which is crazy. And he declined it. So it's kind of leaving a lot more questions out now, like kind of taking away is he going to play in Green Bay this coming season? Because if nothing's happened by now, I don't think anything's going to happen. But so that kind of takes that question out. I'm pretty sure he's going to play in Green Bay, but now it's like, where the fuck's he going to go next year? Because I definitely don't think he's going to be in Green Bay next season.
Yeah, well, it's just like at that point, you just know it's not about the money. No,
Right.
Like no amount of money makes it right. And for the fans that are divided of what the situation is or the problem, when he's willing to be like, yeah, I don't need to be the highest paid player. I just want to win. You got to look at the organization and be like, what is wrong with you? And instead of pointing fingers at Aaron Rodgers, I think you need to point them at a higher level. Yeah. Especially, not only Aaron, but now Davante Adams, who was doing contract negotiations for months. Just as like, obviously things aren't getting better with Aaron, so we're just going to end this. Because why should someone who is probably the number one receiver in the league right now be tied to an organization for 5 to 6 years and lose? It would be like kind of like a Larry Fitzgerald situation. Yeah. Someone who is extremely talented, but has only got to play with a good quarterback a few times in his career. And I love Larry. I think he would be the number one receiver of all time if he had a good quarterback. Even just good. Like a good, consistent quarterback through his entire career. But he was dealt a shit hand, and I don't think Davante Adams wants to be in that same boat.
And I don't. Yeah, I mean, who the hell could blame him for that? He's with one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and you know, Aaron Rodgers isn't asking for much. He's just asking for more weapons on the team. And I heard that it wasn't even necessarily just offense. It was like across the board just to help the
It
team
probably
win.
was on the defense.
Yeah.
The offense wasn't terrible.
No.
They needed help with their DBs, and that was it. If they had better defensive backs, they probably would have went to the Super Bowl.
And I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. Like, I don't know what made me like him so much.
Bob literally licks his nuts. It's
Well, not literally, but figuratively, I guess. But
Well,
I don't know what the hell made me like him so much, but it must have been. I honestly do know it was probably him being on Pat McAfee every Tuesday last season. But like he's just such a cool dude, laid back guy. Like I can't see much pissing him off, and if something's pissing him off that bad to where he's like, he's not publicly saying anything, but like he's doing shit to make you know that he's not happy. Something's going on, and I can't blame Aaron. I can't blame Davante Adams. I mean, they're both so goddamn good. They could potentially go somewhere together next year and win there.
Well, and you mentioned him being sly about things. So a couple days ago, Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams both put up on their Instagram stories a picture of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen kind of doing like a knuckle bump. And everybody believes that is a reference to the Michael Jordan documentary that came out, The Last Dance. So maybe Aaron will come back and play this year, or maybe he'll sit out and Davante will play. But I think that is a sign that it's just like there's no making amends here. If this is it, this is the last year for both of us, or at least one of us playing.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see them go together somewhere.
That would be fucking cool.
It would be cool. I mean, look at
But
what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady had full influence on what the Bucs did. If a team really wants Aaron Rodgers enough, and they know what he's going through right now by the Packers not listening to what he wants, they'll be like, anything you want, we'll do it. He goes somewhere, signs, bring Davante.
Where do you see a team that is not only a good fit for Aaron, but a team that has the capacity to take two, probably going to be the highest paid players? Like Aaron's going to be paid handsomely, and so is Davante Adams. Like, what team has that capacity that's going to be a good fit and kind of let him have a say so? There's not many teams in a situation that are going to do that.
Well, unfortunately, I don't really like to say this, being a Browns fan, but I could see the Steelers being one. Ben's on his way. I mean, this is Ben's last year. I could see Ben retiring, Pittsburgh bringing in Aaron, and Aaron being like, listen, I want my boy to come with me.
As much as I think that could be a good fit, I would never see the Steelers being like, yep, you get to call some shots. It's just not that kind of organization. It's run very old school, and I hate that it's run that way, but it's just the way that it's been. I think you got to look at some teams that are not as prestigious as like a Steelers or Patriots or anything along those lines. Something that doesn't have a good track record. Kind of like the Bucks, they weren't in it for 13 years.
That's
so
true.
You got to look for someone with a drought. It's a hard question. I'm not saying you have to have the answer now, but
San Francisco maybe.
I don't know. That's a whole other fucking can of worms.
It is.
Like, it's like, okay, now you got Jimmy G, you got.
But isn't that where
Lance.
Aaron wanted to go, or was that Tom Brady that wanted to go there?
I think
Because they're both from the same area, right?
Tom wanted to go to the 49ers, and I think Aaron wanted to get drafted by the 49ers.
Yeah, that was it. You're right.
Yeah, and then that coach ended up sitting there and be like, I regret my decision.
Of course
but
you do.
It's like, but you still had Alex? I can't even fucking remember his name.
Alex Smith?
Yeah, Alex Smith. That's who they drafted instead.
Well, hey, he turned out pretty good.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, like we were talking about a good quarterback going with Larry Fitzgerald for his whole career. I would take Alex Smith. Alex Smith is a solid quarterback.
Did Larry retire officially
I have no
yet?
idea what's going on with that situation.
Yeah, because
I haven't read any news. Yeah, man, I'm unsure. I know he's probably pretty bummed because he probably thought he was about to get a ring due to him being a part owner with the Phoenix Suns, but then they blew that 2-0 lead.
God damn it!
But Aaron Rodgers is a part owner of the Milwaukee Bucks and now is an NBA champion.
Shout out Aaron Rodgers, dude.
Yeah, shout out Aaron Rodgers, man. This guy, he's like, fuck the Packers. If I can't get a ring here, I'm going to get a ring with the Bucks.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to go to a different sport and I'm going to get a ring there by any means. My guy. My fucking guy.
But, so, this is going to be one of those weirder conversations that you're going to be like, why the fuck are you asking me this? But
it wouldn't be an episode of The Crack One Open without that.
True story.
True that.
So, everybody wipes their ass a little bit differently. But, so do you fold or crinkle up the toilet paper when you're wiping your butt?
I fold. What the fuck? I'm not an animal.
Exactly. Well, I've seen so many videos online where people throw this question out there, and so many people crinkle it. They just, like, ball it up and, like, they shove it up their fucking butt. Like, what are you doing?
I don't even No, you got to get the right surface area. Like, you got to fold it to spec. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You got to make sure everything's covered. You get a clean one, and you keep it moving.
But there's also so much waste.
Yeah, but I feel like you probably waste more folding. At least I do.
There's no way. You're balling all this up and you get like one use. You can't even fold it again once.
True. That's a good point.
And then you just throw it in there. The people who crumple or crinkle toilet paper are the reason the Amazon rainforest is dying. It's your fault. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but he's right. It's your fault.
I don't know much about it either, but it sounds accurate.
It does sound right. It sounds good, dude.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
It's factual.
It sounds fucking good.
But
facts.
So since me and you are both in the same pool of folding our toilet paper, how many squares do you use?
Well, that's why I said I feel like I waste probably more folding. I use quite a bit. Yeah. So I'm probably in that category too. Of fucking.
I usually do like 4.
Oh no.
Like 4 squares.
No.
You use more than 4 squares? See, 4, that gets you at least 2 wipes out of that.
Yeah, I use way more than 4, if I'm being completely honest.
The next worst thing next to crinkling it is someone who does just use the fold, but they only use 1 square. What a psychopath.
Yeah, that's impossible without getting shit on your hand.
Yeah, that is asking for the finger to pop through and finger pop your butthole.
Exactly. Finger pop in your asshole. But yeah, I probably use at least double than 4. I probably use 8 or 7 squares at least.
And that begs that begs the question: how often do you wash your hands?
Well, for sure after every shit.
Not in like, but hold on. But how often do you wash your hands? Every time, like when you go to the bathroom.
Like shitting or pissing?
Just in general.
Definitely after every shit. Situationally, if I piss, like, I don't know.
Is this the same in public, or is this just like at home?
No, in public I'll wash. Anytime I go into the bathroom, I'll wash my hands.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, if I'm at home after every shit, and maybe every other time I take a piss, I don't know. I mean, I know where my dick's been. It's not dirty.
Me and you are pretty fucking similar then, because I am that same way. Every poop, I wash my hands, and every other pee. But I also won't wash my hands after I pee at like night, no matter what. Like, if it's in the middle of the night, I'm just going back to bed. Like, who cares?
Yeah, like, I know where my dick's been. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's not like it's been fucking...
Sometimes I think my dick is cleaner than other parts of my body. It's just been in my pants.
Exactly.
Like your hands are touching everything. They're touching doorknobs. Like, I think you should almost wash your hands before you touch your dick so you're not contaminating it.
You know what? You're fucking right. I actually agree with that. We should change the standards on when you wash your hands, because that is a really good point. You're 9 times out of 10, your dick's cleaner than your hands anyway.
Yeah.
So you should do it the opposite way. Wash before you piss, and then after you piss, you just head on out.
Exactly. Then there's nothing dirty about it.
Exactly. That's you're onto something, dude.
Did we just change the game?
Dude, we're changing the world on this podcast. We're changing the world.
But
you're welcome, everybody.
The other weird thing though is, and this changes my opinion of when I'm shaking hands with people. Almost every hand you've shaken has had a penis in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, your grandma's hands have been around a fat, meaty cock.
Yeah.
And And then she's holding you as a baby, and those same hands are holding you. Then you're shaking, you're dapping her up. What's up? What's good, Grams?
What's good?
And
What's good, Grammy?
and then it's like when you go to your boss and you ask for a raise, and he's like, "Sure," and you're so happy, you shake it, and he's like, "That was just on my cock 2 minutes ago."
And he would say the same thing. Mine too.
Yeah, man, it's just
Everybody pisses, dude.
every conversation in my life goes back to poop and pee and penises and all of that.
Me, along with all of our listeners, have become accustomed to that. We know.
Oh, I know, but that's why you guys love it, right?
Yeah, that's what we appreciate about you guys. You listen to us.
Yeah. We enjoy the dirty talk, but also the sports talk. And I wanted to give a shout out to you guys last week. We had the biggest week ever in Cracked One Open history. You blew this shit out of the park. The only thing that I can ask of you now is tell a friend. Tell a friend, share with a friend, and I think it's going to be great for us. And we want you to be here for the long haul and take us to the top and we want to bring you with us.
Yeah, I completely agree, and we're going to keep continuing to try to push the limit on what we do, raise the bar every episode. These past couple weeks we've been trying to work on different stuff, different outlets for you guys to consume the podcast, video version, stuff like that. We're going to start putting up clips. Right now we're not too sure if we're going to do a separate channel yet for clips or if we're going to do it on the same one that we're doing on the full-length podcast. But yeah, we're working to try to raise the level and give you guys different ways to consume. I know a lot of people don't have time to watch a whole episode. Understandable. We're going to try to have the hard-hitting, clip section, if you will, on there. So, all the main points of the podcast and funny points, whatever, there will be a clip up for you guys to watch that way separately than the whole episode. But yeah, all that kind of stuff will be up on our YouTube channel, at least for now, before, we possibly make a clip section of it, whatever. We'll have some shorts up there, so anything that you guys don't see on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, will be on the YouTube Shorts version. Definitely, as you guys can tell, I'm pretty excited about the YouTube part of it. YouTube really gets me gassed up.
Whenever Bob starts rambling, that's when he's excited.
I'm excited about the YouTube shit, dude. I really like that. It gets me pumped up, man.
Yeah, but again, go show us some love. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Go and tell a friend. It helps us out dramatically. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe. That's all we have for this one, and peace out, guys.
Have a good one.